Well, good morning, everybody. It's a late night Monday. This should have already been up, but it's not. Show you what we've been up to. Here was my latest project. Got the coil racks back on it. Packs are on both sides. I especially ordered the oil filter and stuff for this engine. It came in, it's the wrong size. Go figure. I got a couple pieces to paint and get ready, but I can't put them on until after it's on the car. It'll be in the way of the sling I'm going to be using to get her in the car safely. There's Miss Zoomies. Show you what we're doing. This ball joint's bad. I found it during the install, so it stopped to work. Didn't stop what I'm doing. Just have to wait to order those. I need to clean this rotor off again. Here's your rack installed. There's the mock-up where it's going to be sitting. About as low as she'll go. She'll actually tilt slightly, I think right to there. Yep, right there. Steering rod clears everything. It's quite interesting. We'll see if I can get a better angle for you. Goes right up, misses everything. I had to down angle one of the two brackets for the motor mount on this side, just to give it a little extra clearance, like 3/4 of an inch. Everything else fits so tight, it was making me nervous. Get scrub the patina off this thing here shortly. Think I might do that today, because I'm gonna cover this thing up and leave it for the rest of the week. I have some issues to deal with on the build. I'm trying to prep it so I can start putting it back together. That sealer really did a super job on that rust converter stuff. Lock it down. Be nice without the pine sap, it really would be. Hopefully I got my power washer fixed for the 5th time. I'm gonna shave these off. There's a little dent right there I didn't realize was there. Gonna have to get out my little hammers and bring that out a little bit. Clean this up, fill these holes. I de-chromed the car. That one's gonna have to have a little bit more work. This will be a quicker fix, getting it ready. That one's going to take a new lip at the bottom, which I got laying here somewhere. Don't ask me. I got weld it on. I got to do some cutouts, some re-welding. So I might as well spend a week or so playing with the front fenders, the wings. Then if I get any time left, I'll start hammering out that valence panel. I just need a break from the build. It's starting to get under my skin. I look at it through different eyes later. I'm an hour and 45 minutes from dropping this thing in. A couple things to do to this. Pulled out. Transmission comes out. I got about 20 minutes worth of prep work on that. Bolt them together and put the sling on, and it's ready to go in. Going to be interesting going in. The idea is to start reducing down the products in here. She's looking pretty good, I think. But there's boxes after boxes after boxes of parts that's been ordered, sitting here and piled on this table to keep my workbench free. 90% of this all disappears when this drops in the car, which is tickling me to death. There it is. I knew I had it. I looked everywhere for it. It's right here in plain sight. I want to strip that fender today. I will probably move the mag drill down below and stuff, clean this off, put a bungee strap on it, and hang the fender right here so I can work standing up. That's my idea anyway. There's got to be some design issues coming up, so I'm taking some time off to work on. If I put the tires on the back, I want to put on the back and use the rear end I want to use. It's 2 inches wider on each side, 2 1/4 to be exactly. But the tires, a 7-inch rim versus a 5-inch rim with the offset, it's still not rubbing or anything. I still need to cut this lip, bring it out. The front, we'll have to have a 2-inch spacer to change the bolt pattern to clear the exhaust downpipe right here. It's within an inch right now. If I put a 7-inch tire on here versus this 5-inch rim, I'm coming in contact, so I got to put a 2-inch spacer on here, so I'll have the same, almost the same amount of tire coming out. So I'll end up flaring both the front and rear fenders, which will look good. I'm leaving the front open. I'm going to make my own grill setup. Fog light. At the valence panel with the holes I've got the fender wells for my header setup that I'm using. I'm not going to have to worry about air pocketing underneath the car and lifting it up. It's going to be able to vent. I've got a 7-inch hood or manifold plenum coming in. I'm dying to see what this looks like painted with the engine sitting in it. So I'll be slowly moving toward there. Here's the nuts and bolts from underneath the car. It straps up the fuel lines and everything. Brake line, everything. It runs to the rear of the car. Put them up there so Zumi wouldn't get them and carry them out in the yard. She likes to grab little nuts and bolts and play with them. There's where some of my foam come up. See how that worked. I wanted to sound deaden this a little bit. Good. And I'll slice this off. I didn't want a tinny hollow sound, so I used the foam between the old panel and the new panel in the pockets to deaden the sound like that. The time I put the sound deadening pad on in the carpet, it'll be nice and quiet in here. I won't have this panel for noise because it's going to get closed up and tack welded shut. I'm going to make some pop riveted panels to go here and there. I'll run a piece of tape over the 2 adjustment areas for the door hinges when I'm done, before the panels go on, just because I can. There's some prep work in there to do. There's all kinds of stuff to do. But if I get the front wings ready, and I'm always ready to put the engine in, time this is ready and the headers are made, it's just a bolt together. Heater box, engine and transmission, everything goes with it. Then I can put the fenders back on it, realign both of them, and that's a ton of stuff out of that garage. And then when that's done, she's going to go get set on the ground, and I'm going to open this up, clean it up again, get all my stuff out of the way, bring her back in here like I had her before, set the nose of it up so I can walk around her against that wall there with that table being gone, and be working under the rear of the car at the same time I'm doing body work, because I have to set the rear end. I got to figure out the offset. I mean, I got hours of in front of the computer stuff to do. And then I got to go to the junkyard one day this week. When I get my truck back, my son's got my pickup. He's BMW's in the shop. So when he gets his car out of the shop, I get my truck back, I got to go over and meet my supplier over there and see if he's got in the rear end. He didn't have one week before last, because I need a GM rear end I'm after. There's the transmission control arm. I need to put that somewhere else. Put that somewhere else. We're coming along quick now. Later on, hopefully by this coming Saturday, I'll have the new camera and I won't be fighting this one any longer. It's cool out here. This camera's already getting red hot. There's something wrong with it. I don't even have the battery stick plugged into it, just the regular battery. Well, people, this is just a quickie of what's going on. I'll have to get a video of some work going on. Like I'm saying, we got to wash the car. I want to cover it up and leave it, and just get it out of sight and out of my mind for a little bit. I got to deal with spacing, rear end, springs, shocks, and a whole host of other things that'll all be affected. I got to stop and do it, or it'll come back to haunt me. So people, get your build on. Have a blessed day. Like, subscribe, and we'll be back with better videos as soon as I get a camera I'm not fighting constantly to get it to work.